life is full of all of these experiences and all of these questions, and some things we don't know and someone doesn't have the answer, or some things are answers you have to figure out for yourself. And I feel like if I go and I observe nature and I draw it, it tells me a lot of things that feel like familiar thoughts, or things like I know but I didn't have someone tell me. And so when I'm drawing and observing with that in my mind, it's important to me to like, what are the parts and how do they connect to each other? My name is Alisha Mahone-Brooks, and I am a mother, an artist, and a bunch of other stuff. Those are the first things that come to my mind. So I think in the ways of supplies can be anything. It's just kind of what do you have around you that you can use as a tool to visually create something that you want. So the first thing I do is kind of get in touch with how I'm feeling, what's going on with me, and then just being kind of present in that for a little bit. And then I cruise the yard, and I'm just kind of looking for something that feels like almost like it's talking to me, not in a voice, but there's just something different about it, the way the light is hitting it, or the way it's moving, or sometimes not even anything visual. I just feel it. I just know. It's hard to explain. I can just feel that I know that I want to draw it. And so I'll sit down and just kind of look at it and kind of try to think about what is it that I'm feeling, what is it that's talking to me, what's it trying to say. The first thing I do is kind of look at the spine of it, or the kind of the part of the structure that it all meets or joins at. And so I kind of lay those lines down first, just getting the direction and the movement, kind of feeling how that item is moving, whether it's a leaf going up and twisting, or going down, or curling into itself, or how it rests on top of each other, just trying to find that. So my first, just really basic, just kind of directional movement. Once I've got that down, I kind of have at least something for my mind to look at and to kind of start to create a structure. And then as I'm doing that, also kind of sticking it in the back of my mind for when I go back is what's happening with the colors too. Where's the light? Is the light coming from the back and in the center? Is it coming from the side? What is the green and that leaf doing when it's darker? Or just kind of taking all of these things and kind of creating a mental picture. And sometimes I take photos, but if I don't have a camera, I'm gonna have to rely on my mind or my memory, and sometimes it's funny kind, and sometimes I make stuff up, but that works too. That's kind of the observation part. So at this point, I can either stay here if I have all my tools with me, or all the things, or whatever I have sometimes I just use. I will sit there and then try to take that kind of roadmap that I've made for my mind and give it a little more structure, because when I look back at it, it can just look like a bunch of lines and overlapping. And now I want to like make clear definition of the in-betweens, the parts, the things that where they come together, where they join, where they separate. And what I like to do personally is to just go back with my pen or my pencil and just kind of create some clear shapes. Doesn't even have to be super detailed at this point. Then after I got the lines in and I've kind of created a structure and I feel like, okay, there's a good solid, now I can see it. Before I was just like feeling it and vibing it. Now I can like see it in physical. And now, okay, now that I see it and there's a map, now I can let my mind go any kind, go anywhere, go with it. So either I can think about the colors that are there. Are they complementary colors? Are they primary colors? Or do I want to just be wild and go with the colors that I have on my table? That happens a lot. Sometimes I'm like, what do I have here? And how can we make this work together? So it can be either you looking at the photo and really trying to understand how the light and the colors are happening, or you can be like, whatever, like, what do you have available? What do I have? What resources do I have now? Or it can be, if you have a bunch, like, how weird can I be with that? How can I do like not what it looks like, but still make it look really beautiful? With me and the way I do art and how I try to talk to my Kiki about art is the less rules, the better, which I know sounds weird because I feel like when we think about art, we think about there's so many rules, like perspective and depth and color and lines and all of these things, and I didn't learn about those things. I just kind of developed them by doing them. And so I try to do that with my keiki, where it's like, I feel like when we nurture that in our kids, that there's like no shame, give them, like, do whatever with whatever you have, it helps to create like confident artists in the future, because art is really just our interpretation and what we see and what we feel. Like, we can put all of these stuff on top of it, but it's literally like our perspective, what we have in our place, our resources that really tell a true story of who we are and what we're seeing. So do art, do it.